the midwife and I were in the kitchen just chatting, just catching up. And she was saying that it's hard for her to come by doulas that she really feels like she can trust, that she can say like confidently, I refer out to this doula. I trust what she has to do or what she knows, because a lot of doulas that she was coming across were doing a lot more of the sitting back, holding space, listening, soft voice, and there's obviously a time and a space for that action. But a lot of them weren't actually being proactive, or like when she would come in and let's say we knew the baby was breech at 34 weeks, the doula wasn't doing anything to help, right? Or giving any suggestions,
guidance,
any guidance at all. Not to mention actually in the birth, putting a client in different positions, moving them around, encouraging them in that way, not just the affirmations, not just the slow, soft voice, right? And the guidance with the words. And so, yeah, that conversation was so curious to me because I was like, wow, I know about these things because I've been doing this for 6.5 years. I've studied with a bunch of people. I've taken spinning babies a couple times. And yeah, I know when they say that, this mama wants a cervical check and they say, great, she's almost there. She just has a cervical lip. I'm like, okay, I know what positions we're going to be getting in. We're doing this and we're doing that and we're going to move around. And this is a precedent that I set with my clients in our prenatals, right? Of like, hey, I want you to feel in a space where you can feel comfortable, but also birth isn't comfortable. We're going to be moving through positions. We're going to be moving through layers, through the gates, if you will, of birth. And there's going to be some discomfort. And we want to find the positions where you're going to be able to melt the most and soften the most, but also birth is an active event, right?
But bring intensity. We need intensity.
We need intensity.
The ones that you feel the least comfortable in are usually the ones that you need the most.
Yeah. So I say it lightheartedly, right? Of like, I'm probably going to put you in a lunge and you're probably going to hate me for a little bit, but I promise you it's probably what your cervix needs. It's a deep lunge, or a this or whatever it is. So yeah, it was just interesting to have that conversation with the midwife. I feel so disconnected from doula trainings these days because it's been a while for me that I'm like reflecting. I'm like, wait, actually, I didn't learn any of this in my doula training, to be honest.
I started one, my friend.
Yeah. Girl, I would love to sit in on that next time.
I find that there's this dichotomy. So as a doula trainer, as somebody who's mentored doulas for a long time, I find that this is the hard part for me is some midwives expect us to do things and some expect us to stay out of the way.
Yeah.
And you don't know which one is which. And so I talk to the doulas I train about, you need to have conversations ahead of time with the midwife. You need to know who the midwife is that you're working with. And also you don't work for her. You work for your client or with your, I don't even like saying work for, you work with your client. And I've had a midwife say that she doesn't think that doulas are any better than a friend just being there because they don't do anything. But then I've had other midwives say that a doula gets in the way too much and they're too opinionated and they need to stay in their lane. Yeah. So it's like this balance and this delicate dance of who am I offending? And then there are also moms or parents who don't want the guidance. They're like, this is an intuitive dance with me and my baby. I want you to hold space and I don't want you to do a whole lot. And there are other people that are like, put me in, coach, tell me what to do. Like, I'm going to rock it and I'm going to do what you say. And so I talk to people ahead of time about like, what vibe are you looking for? Are you hiring me for my presence and to only speak up if I see something that maybe could use an edit or an enhancement? Or are you hiring me because you're like, I want you to use your brain this whole time to help this go as smoothly as possible. And I want you to tell me when you see something, anything. And I always tell people too, I'm going to ask you to do stuff in labor because you're telling me you want me to, and you're probably not going to want to do it. And this is your birth. So I'm going to remind you of why I'm asking you. And then I'm going to remind you that you asked me to do this. And I'm going to ask you one more time. And if you say no, I'm going to back off because it's not, I'm not your boss. This is your birth. But I do find that this is kind of a hard, I've been doing this for 7 years, but I do feel like it's a hard dance because in the world, the doula world, we hear like, you need to sit on your hands or you need to hold space. What to you does hold space mean?